Hey, what is up guys? It's Lobomon for Game, and today we finally got the EX2 update. This is going to be our first official match with this set. So Joe's going to start off first. As you can see, he hatched the mother in his raising, then puts me at a 1 by playing the Searcher. I'm going to go ahead and Digivolve in my raising with the Madoki Betamon, then drop the Pokemon, putting Joe to 2. I will top 5 check, adding both the Sora and Joe and the Beowulfmon. Now, if you couldn't tell, I'm playing the updated Blue Hybrid with extra support. He's going to promote his mother, put the Searcher underneath it. Then he's going to go ahead and play Searcher, putting himself to 1. Gonna go ahead and be able to draw a card off of that. Then he's going to reduce the play cost of Bubbles, putting me back to 1. He's going to put the Searcher underneath for the on play by Bubbles. I promote my Madoki Betamon. I start rushing in with it. Gonna go and swing into a Searcher and I survive. Then I'm going to go ahead and pass him 3 by playing the Sora and Joe. Now, it may be a lot of memory, but this is going to be helpful during my turn because I'm going to gain the additional since he's not able to Digivolve over. He does put the Searcher underneath Mother instantly. He does swing with Bubbles to my Madoki Betamon since it is buffed by an extra 3k, so it's at 6k. Does drop another Searcher on the board to go ahead and put himself to 1, draw a card off of that. Then he's going to reduce the costs and drop the blocker, putting me back to 1 again, but I'm going to go ahead and gain the additional 2 at the start of my turn, so I'm going to be with 3. I'm going to go ahead and put the Syakumon in my raising. Now, both the Syaku and Madoki doesn't really help me with this matchup, but I'm going to go ahead and play another Sora and Joe, choking him back to 1 so I can gain more memory during my turn. Joe's going to activate the effect of Mother to go ahead and absorb. Now he has 4 underneath as sources. He's going to go ahead and swing with the Bubbles. It does survive since it's buffed by 4k. Then drops another Searcher, putting himself to 0. And he's going to go ahead and drop another Searcher on the board, putting me to 3. And then I'm going to go ahead and gain 4 additional, so I'm going to start off with 7 memory. I then promoted my Syakumon. I feel like I'm going to go ahead and start swinging in first, so I'm going to go ahead and swing with Syaku. He will block it, so the blocker's out of the way. Now I'm going to go ahead and start Digivolving into my Kumamon, gain 2 memory back, so I'm still at 7. Go into my Beowulfmon, put me at 6. Then I'm going to play the Azulongmon, putting myself to 1. Then I'm going to be able to gain the additional 4 memory. So I thought the Searcher that was in his trash counted because I thought it looked like it was on the board. So we're just fixing that right now. So I'm actually going to go ahead and start off with 4, but I did calculate it. There was a slight misplay. I was supposed to be at 5, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to start swinging in for 5 checks. Hoping I don't hit into something nasty. I do swing into a Bubbles. It's going to trigger to put a source underneath. Then swing for the last check. And that's going to be Kumamon for game 1. Now that was pretty crazy because he was able to build up that board. I was able to take advantage of that board by playing the Azulongmon. And the tech I wanted to run was the Hexablaumon. But I figured that I needed to have security checks more than stopping the opponent from swinging in. Because if I didn't, if Gatekeeper comes out, I end up losing because I don't have any additional security checks. So we're going to go ahead and see off with Mother already having a source underneath. Then he's going to go ahead and play the Bubbles, spawn in the source underneath Mother. So now Mother has 2. I'm starting off with 2 memory and I promoted my Kumamon. Going to Digivolve into my Korikaku. Going to stun the Bubbles. And then I'm going to go ahead and swing into security. I do hit into a Gatekeeper, so that's actually really bad already. Because if he's able to build up his sources under Mother, I don't have any security checks other than Azulongmon. I played a Strabi. I'm going to add the Sora and Joe, passing Joe back to 2. Joe's going to go ahead and swing with Gatekeeper into my Korikaku, which is a smart play. Then he's going to go ahead and drop the Jerry, putting me to 1. I'm going to go ahead and Digivolve in my raising with another Madoki Betamon. Then I'm just going to play the Sora and Joe, giving him 3 memory, but I'm going to take advantage of the memory gain during my turn. Now Joe's going to go ahead and start off with Jerry, tapping it to go ahead and top 5 check, and does hit the Searcher on the last card. Going to be able to put that under Mother, so that's 3 sources under Mother already. Gatekeeper will be live once she has 6, but he ends up deciding to swing with Bubbles first. Going to top 3 check, does hit into a Davis and I add the Strabi off of that. Then he's going to swing with Gatekeeper, hits into another Davis, top 3 check, I add the Strabimon again from BT6. And then looking like he wants to go ahead and use the effect of Mother, he's going to reduce the cost, play the Pallades, and going to go ahead and kill off my Strabi. Now he's going to put me to 3 because Davis is going to start me off with 3 anyway. And then Sora and Joe's going to boost me up to 5. Promote my Madoki. And I'm kind of stuck right here. So I'm going to go ahead and start Digivolving over my Davis into the Kumamon. Going to go ahead and put myself to 3. Then play the Beowulfmon, put myself to 2. Then I'm going to go for the Hyro play, going into the Azulongmon, putting him to 3, but I refund 5, so I'm going to be back at 2. I'm going to go for a 6 security check, and unfortunately, the first swing was the recovery swing, and that was the Reaper, which is 15k, so my Azulongmon went down just like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and Digivolve into the Kumamon. Going to try and control tempo, so I'm going to play the Spark, go into my Beowulfmon. Then I'm going to go ahead and start swinging in to his Pallades, going to bounce the Kumamon back. Pallades is going to go down because it is back to base. Then to pass turn, I'm just going to go ahead and play another Sora and Joe because that's the only play I got. and I'm afraid that's too much memory and I'm just gonna have to rely on my security. I do have an Innocence Blizzard. Let's see if it's in security. Does hit into a Hammer Spark, does hit into a Tommy. Third swing is a Korikaku, and that's gonna be game for game 2. So now we're moving on to game 3, and that was pretty crazy. The fact that he recovered a Reaper from Gatekeeper is what saved him. Had it been any other security recovery, I think it would have been okay, but Reaper is just pretty big for a 15k base. So as you all know, hybrids don't want to go first, but I decided to go first to try and do the counterplay. So I put him to 2, he's going to drop the Searcher, put himself to 1, then drops the Kari, putting me to 3, so he won't be memory choked anymore. I'm going to swing into the security with my Kumamon. Shelby is underneath it, so I'm going to gain a memory because it's a hybrid swinging in. Does survive because it did hit into a Searcher. Then I'm going to go ahead and drop the Tommy, putting myself to 1, then Digivolve into the Korikakumon. Then to make the memory worth it, I Digivolve into the Beowulfmon, and I have multiple sources underneath it, so I'm going to be able to repeatedly bounce my units back to my hand. He's going to use Mother to observe Searcher, put himself to 2 by playing another Searcher on the board. Does go for the blocker play, going to put me to 2. I'm going to go ahead and drop return, hatch in my raising, throw down a Madoki in there so I can start cycling. I'm going to swing into security with Beowulfmon to bounce Korikaku back. I'm going to gain the additional memory. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop 2 units on the board, which is another Siyaku and another Madoki. So I'm going to put him to 3 anyway. And I decided to go ahead and go wide instead of building a stack, because if I end up hitting into Reaper, my stack is useless. He's going to use the blocker to swing into the Beowulfmon, which is good because it controls tempo. Then he's going to go ahead and play another Searcher. Then to pass turn, he's going to go ahead and play the Pendulum Feed to top 3 check. Does hit into 2 Gatekeepers, will add one of them. Unfortunately, no ADR2. I decided to promote my Madoki, and his blocker is tapped, so I'm going to be able to swing with all 3 units. Going to start peeling off. Then all of them will die, of course. And then to pass turn, because he still has a blocker on the board, I'm just going to play another Madoki on the board to have an additional swing. I just need to be careful and start pacing out myself, rushing him in. He uses Mother's effect to go ahead and absorb the Searcher. Does play the Tactical Retreat to put the Pendulum Feed back to his security, and he does tap the card to gain the additional memory, so that was free. Does drop the Searcher to go ahead and draw 1. We'll play another Tactical Retreat on the Searcher. Then he's going to go ahead and play the Gatekeeper. Going to go ahead and recover another one. So he's back at 3 security as if like nothing happened. So I'm going to go ahead and hatch. And then I decided to go ahead and promote my Tommy. Going into the Korikaku. I have a lot of memory to work with. I'm going to go ahead and stun the blocker. Go into the Beowulfmon. And then I'm going to go ahead and risk it for the biscuit. Going to go into the Azulongmon, putting him to 1. Then I will refund myself 2 back since he has 2 units with no sources. Then I'm going to go swing for a triple check, and if I survive that first check, I'm going to be able to make it through. And it does hit into a bubbles, and that's pretty much it because we know what the other 2 securities are. And that's pretty much GG, Madoki for game. Good games, Joe. Round 2 threw me off, so I had to play a little different over there, but nonetheless, that was really good. Here's his deck profile, guys, if you want to pause and take a look. And then the upcoming one will be my hybrid updated list in EX02 format. So don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Azulongmon for Game signing out.